CBC senior correspondent Neil Macdonald has been following all of this. He joins me now from Ottawa. Your article on CBCNews.ca being shared a lot, getting quite the buzz. You described Sophie Grégoire Trudeau in that piece as a tall poppy. What did you mean by that?
Tall poppy is somebody who's outstanding. It's somebody who is, in the field of poppies, there's always one sticking up a little higher. That's a tall poppy. It's an Australian expression. And in the States, or in a lot of countries, people see a tall poppy, they go, wow, boy, fabulous. I'd like to be like that. In Canada, we have a tendency, and in Australia, we have a tendency to just want to cut the tall poppy off and make them the same size as everybody else. How dare you be special? Sophie Grégoire Trudeau is special. She's got all sorts of attributes. Canadians want to hear from her. She's constantly being asked to make speeches, to support charities, to go out and do work for the public, pro bono, and she does. And she's asked for some extra administrative help, and this has somehow turned into an argument about entitlement and privilege and how dare she, and why can't she just get by like everybody else? Well, she isn't everybody else. She's Sophie Grégoire Trudeau, that's why.
You also make comparisons to former Prime Minister wives. How does it compare?
Well, some Prime Ministers' wives, Lorraine Harper did charitable work, but she kept a rather low profile compared to Sophie Grégoire Trudeau. She had one assistant. Mila Mulrooney was the last one like Sophie Grégoire Trudeau. Mila Mulrooney was very good looking and pretty smart and very glamorous, and she was very sought after. She had 3 staff. And, one of her staffers works for us now at CBC as an executive. I was talking to her the other day, and she said it was like working in a cabinet minister's office. There was never any end to the demand for Mila to be at medical events, charity events, to lend her name. She raised all sorts of money. All of this is good work. Raising money for charities, I thought we were supposed to be in favor of. Mila Mulrooney's cause was cystic fibrosis in children. Sophie Grégoire Trudeau's cause is empowerment of young women. That all sounds fine to me. I don't pay a lot of attention to Sophie Grégoire Trudeau, but I have to concede that an awful lot of Canadians do, and an awful lot of Canadians want her, and she's responding.
Some critics say, first the Trudeaus wanted nannies using taxpayers' dollars. Now this. How would you respond to that?
Well, those critics are largely, opposition party members, and I'll tell you, if I was a Conservative MP or strategist, or if I was an NDP MP or strategist, I would want Sophie Grégoire to stay home, close the door, take care of her kids, and shut up and never make another speech, because she's amazingly popular. And one of the side effects of all this is she's probably going to help her husband, and she's probably going to help the party, just as Mila Mulrooney did, just as Michelle Obama does. That kind of comes with the package. But the fact is, she could say no. She could say, no, sorry, bye-bye. I'm going to go to yoga and take the kids. She could say no to all these things, and then you know what would happen. She would be a cold-hearted biatch, and she would be denounced for being distant and out of touch with Canadians in that way. It's kind of a lose-lose thing. This is what this is, Eshe, is this is hyper-partisanship and jealousy. And, unfortunately, we have come to look at everything, including pro bono work for charities, for heaven's sake, as a partisan issue. And everybody wants to get angry about partisan issues, and everybody does get angry. It's the same to a certain extent in the States. I think it's a spillover. But, what we really have here is a very pretty, sort of open-hearted young woman who talks about her own problems and tries to help girls with their problems. And she's in high demand, and it's Canadians with concerns that taxpayers are asking her to do this, and she's saying yes. It's about as simple as that.
Right, she does talk about women empowerment as well as eating disorders, trying to help young girls with that, something she suffered herself. Let's talk about this role, though. I mean, when you look at the United States, there is an official role, the First Lady. Here, there isn't. Is this a new era, though? Should this be a job?
The same questions were asked during the Mila Mulrooney controversy. There was a big public uproar about her. Everybody was upset, except Conservatives. They weren't upset back then because she was doing the party a favor. But, should there be a role? Look, there is one, right? She's the Prime Minister's wife. She's asked to do these things. She's expected to wear Canadian fashions. I guess she does. I don't know. I don't pay much attention to that sort of thing. But I can tell you this. I'll tell you what I would do if I was getting 60 or 70 requests for a speech every week, which is a lot of work. I'd say no. Now, nobody's asking me because I'm not Sophie Grégoire Trudeau, but you know, it's exhausting work. It involves a lot of travel. It involves a level of public spiritedness that most people don't have, including me. Sorry, I mean, I just wouldn't want to take up that much of my life. I probably would say, bye-bye, I'm going to go to yoga with the kids. And she's not. So, you know, I don't, it's probably controversial to say this, but maybe we should say thank you to the woman, you know?
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed your editorial. And I really enjoyed the fact that you said biatch. We will leave it there.
I'm going to get in trouble for that. Thanks.
CBC senior correspondent Neil Macdonald.